Hey guys, so guess what? Award season is finally over, so I can finally start getting back to doing some movie reviews. You probably noticed a dip in actual movie reviews since I got back from Mexico, but yeah, I just wanted to focus on awards season content for a little while, but now that it's done, I can focus on doing more movie reviews for you guys, so yay! And you know what? It kind of feels fitting that with awards season over, I start reviewing movies with a film that is clearly going to be in the Best Picture category next year, which is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Can't even say that with a straight face. Some of you already know that I actually liked the first Sonic film. In fact, more than liked, I really enjoyed it because I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I'll pop a link to that review up there if you want to check that out. But yeah, I actually had high expectations for the Sonic 2 film, which is so ridiculous saying out loud. I was expecting Sonic 2 to be good. That's putting way too much pressure on a video game adaptation movie, isn't it? Good, especially a sequel. But the first one genuinely surprised me. I had a blast watching it. So yeah, I was really keen to see a sequel to Sonic. And now that we finally have one, what did I think of it? Well, I definitely enjoyed this film way more than any 31-year-old man has any right to. But like the fate of a vast number of sequels to films which were surprise hits, it wasn't as good the second time around, but it was still entertaining nonetheless. And that's because the unexpected wow factor isn't there for a sequel, because you've already been wowed. Now you have to live up to the standards that you set in the first film. I wasn't expecting Sonic 1 to be good, but I was expecting Sonic 2 to be good because of how good Sonic 1 was. Well done if you managed to actually keep up with that train of thought. And while I still had a really good time with Sonic 2, there were more elements that didn't quite work for me in this one. The first one was a pretty straightforward road trip buddy movie. It was concise, simple, and well-paced. The sequel, however, isn't as focused. It's a coming-of-age story for Sonic, but it's not as lean. This film opens with Sonic as a superhero. He's calling himself Blue Justice, and he's moonlighting by being a vigilante superhero because it's trendy, I guess, to be a superhero right now. But when Dr. Robotnik, once again played by Jim Carrey, returns from the Mushroom Planet, more bonkers than before by the way, along with an echidna space creature called Knuckles, voiced by Idris Elba, it's up to Sonic and his scrappy new friend Tails, voiced by the original Tails, Colleen O'Shaughnessey, to stop them from getting the Master Emerald. An emerald so powerful, it can turn thoughts into reality. That's right, it's one of those find the MacGuffin in order to save the day stories. So yeah, naturally, like most sequels, the story gets more expansive, there's more characters competing for screen time. Not all of it quite works, but it is still a fun watch. And like the first film, it succeeds in being an entertaining family film. There's a hefty amount of silly humor, mostly provided by Jim Carrey doing his gangly scenery-chewing shtick, which kids and adults who are fond of Jim Carrey's trademark buffoonery from the 90s will appreciate. There's even a few under-the-radar swear words which the adults can appreciate, like, "you piece of shiitake mushroom," or "holy sherbet." So it does go to the efforts to make this a family film and not just a kid's film. The voice casting is also perfect. Ben Schwartz manages to channel his cheeky, erratic energy into Sonic so well. I'm so glad they brought in Colleen O'Shaughnessey to voice Tails, because it would have been all too easy to just find some celebrity in Hollywood who's hot right now to voice this character, but Colleen O'Shaughnessey voicing Tails is nostalgia in itself. Anybody who's ever played Sonic will feel immediately gratified hearing Shaughnessy's voice, the original Tails, voicing Tails. It's nice, it's lovely, I'm so glad that they brought her in to voice Tails. Idris Elba as Knuckles as well. What an inspired choice. When they first announced he'd be voicing Knuckles, I was like, okay, but now that I've seen it in action, it's actually perfect because he's just so super serious compared to the other characters who are so zany and off the wall. So his character does provide a nice bit of juxtaposition between the triptych of three colourful characters, and he does get some of the biggest laughs because he's so super serious. The action was pretty fun. I did enjoy the snowboarding sequence, although I would have liked a little bit more of Jim Carrey running from spiky boulders and swinging blades like you're doing a level in a video game. That was cool. I just wanted a little bit more of that. The CGI for the most was pretty good, but the film does rely on it a fair bit, particularly in the third act, which has that whole cliched CGI extravaganza battle, complete with a sky beam. You know, we've seen it done 1,000 times before. As for other negatives, I already mentioned that the first film felt more concise. This film has an entire subplot devoted to Tom attending his sister-in-law Rachel's wedding in Hawaii, and it does divide the focus of the film a bit too much. Like, don't get me wrong, Natasha Rothwell was hysterical as this bridezilla, but it felt like such an unnecessary tangent. And you can't help but feel it did stretch out the runtime of this film more than it needed to. There's also a ton of blatant product placement, which had me rolling my eyes. Also, the meeting of Sonic and Tails and the development of them becoming friends felt very rushed to me. The film also has its fair share of wince-inducing moments, like Jim Carrey doing the floss dance thing. It already feels dated. But despite all those issues, I still had a good time watching Sonic 2 in the cinema, and clearly all the families that were there did as well. It was nothing but joyful smiles in the auditorium afterwards. So as a family film, it did do its job. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, I would. I would definitely like to watch Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 again at some point with my nephews when they're a little bit older. So yeah, I'll watch these films again. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? It's another yes, especially if you liked the first Sonic film. It's more of the same. It's expanded the story a little bit more. I don't think it's as good or as tidy as the first, but I still had a blast watching it. I laughed, I had fun with the action scenes. Jim Carrey doing his Jim Carrey thing really did tickle me. So yeah, I do recommend it. It's a good day out for a family. If you want a good movie to watch for an entire family, I'd recommend Sonic 2. And third question, what score to give out of 10? Not as good as the first, but still a decent follow-up. So I'm gonna give Sonic the Hedgehog 2 a solid score of 6 out of 10. But as always, guys, just one bloke's opinion. Want to hear from you. What did you guys think of Sonic the Hedgehog 2? What do you have to say about this movie? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars-related content, don't forget to hit subscribe, and remember to follow me on any of my socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It's all in that video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Nick Carefield, and I'll see you next time.